Hello, everyone, and welcome to my presentation on the redevelopment of Fair Oaks Mall. My name is Gabby Riffle-Gonzalez, and today I'll be discussing the methodology I used in my case study and the key conclusions I reached. My focus was on evaluating the mall's potential for redevelopment, particularly in terms of residential, office, and retail implementations. To start, I'd like to give a brief overview of our case study. The primary objective was to assess the redevelopment potential of Fair Oaks Mall by analyzing market demand, zoning regulations, and the feasibility of introducing new residential and retail spaces. This analysis is crucial for understanding how best to revitalize the mall and make it a thriving mixed-use development. My methodology involves several critical steps. I began with a comprehensive market analysis, examining trends in the retail, office, and residential spaces within the Fairfax Center submarket. Given the mall's central location, understanding these trends was essential. The market analysis revealed several important findings. There's a clear trend towards mixed-use developments and a combination of retail, residential, and entertainment spaces. This trend is driven by a desire for convenience and a more integrated lifestyle. Next, I conducted a demographic analysis focusing on household income and population growth in the surrounding area. This helped me identify the potential customer base and workforce that would support the redevelopment. The demographic data showed that the region is experiencing strong residential growth with rising household incomes and population increases that could support additional retail and residential development. I also reviewed zoning considerations, evaluating current regulations and potential changes that could impact the project. This included looking at allowable density and land use types. In terms of zoning, the current regulations do support a mixed-use development, but there are restrictions on building height and density that need to be carefully considered, and any proposed redevelopment will need to navigate the restrictions to maximize the site's potential. The site capacity assessment was another key element where I analyzed the current state of the mall and its potential for redevelopment. This involved considering the existing infrastructure and the modifications needed to accommodate new uses. My site capacity analysis indicated that while the mall's current structure could accommodate new development, significant upgrades to the infrastructure will be necessary, including improving access and not only by vehicles but pedestrians, mostly, parking, and utilities to support the anticipated increase in usage. Finally, I performed a capture rate analysis for the retail categories to determine how much of the projected demand the site could realistically attract. Now let's turn our attention to the office market analysis for the Fair Oaks Mall redevelopment. Understanding the office market dynamics is essential, even though our focus for the mall's redevelopment is going to be more on residential and retail uses. Our analysis indicated that there's currently an oversupply of office space in the Fairfax Center submarket. Vacancy rates have remained relatively high, particularly in older, less modernized office buildings, which suggests that the new office developments would need to offer unique value propositions to attract tenants, such as state-of-the-art facilities or flexible workspaces. Given the current market conditions, I do not recommend a significant office component in the initial phase of the redevelopment. There may be potential to include small, flexible office spaces or co-working environments that could cater to local entrepreneurs, remote workers that are now residents, or small businesses. These spaces could complement the residential and retail components by providing a live, work, play environment, and they act more like retail than traditional office space. Trophy Class A space could pull tenants from older properties to switch buildings, but there's no guarantee of success with that approach. Given the current high vacancy rates and negative absorption trends in the office market, I do not recommend any office space development for this site at this time. Turning to the residential component, my analysis found a strong demand for multifamily housing in the Fairfax Center submarket. The area's growing population and increasing household incomes are driving this demand. I also looked at the types of units that would be most in demand, particularly 1 and 2 bedroom units are attractive, especially to young professionals and small families. There's also potential for upscale amenities that cater to that demographic. Given the current trends, I estimate that the site could accommodate a significant number of residential units, making it a key component of the redevelopment strategy. Because the Fair Oaks Mall is entirely comprised of retail at this time, there's a need to reduce its existing retail by 50 to 60% to make space for other uses, starting with removing all or most of the general merchandise, apparel, furnishings, and other category. The GAFO capture rate was too low to support its further development or redevelopment. So to break down my capture rate analysis, I concluded that the neighborhood goods and services and food and beverage categories can support up to 304,769 square feet and 111,470 square feet of space, respectively, even if all of the retail spaces that are currently under construction have tenants made up of 100% of the respective category. Whereas if even one of those properties that are under construction is GAFO, there will be no demand left for the property to fulfill. Retail trends are shifting towards experiential retail, where consumers seek more than just shopping. They want dining, entertainment, and unique experiences. This shift presents an opportunity to reimagine Fair Oaks Mall as a destination that offers a blend of traditional retail and new experiential concepts. As part of the redevelopment effort, building vertically and adding much needed improvements to modernize the property are recommended. My retail demand analysis suggests that there is a strong potential for additional retail space, particularly in categories that complement residential development, such as cafes, fitness centers, and restaurants. So based on my findings, I concluded that the Fair Oaks Mall has significant potential for redevelopment as a mixed-use development. The strongest opportunities lie in the residential and retail components. However, successful redevelopment will require careful planning to navigate zoning challenges and ensure that the necessary infrastructure upgrades are in place, specifically for transportation and accessibility for pedestrian usage. I recommend focusing on enhancing the residential and retail elements, starting with residential development to capitalize on the growing demand, followed by strategic retail enhancements that align with the current market trends. Engaging with local stakeholders will also be crucial to ensure that the redevelopment meets community needs and gains their support. The redevelopment of Fair Oaks Mall offers a unique opportunity to revitalize a key asset within the Fairfax Center submarket by leveraging the demand for residential and retail spaces and addressing the challenges I've identified. This project can greatly enhance the local economy and quality of life. Thank you for your attention. I'm happy to discuss any questions you may have in the discussion portion.